Hello again. It's time for Tiger Talk. Stay with us as we talk Fort Hays State football, recap the big game with #1 Northwest Missouri State. Hello again, everyone, and welcome into Tiger Talk. Gerard Weilbrock with you as we talk some Fort Hays State football. We'll be joined by head coach Chris Brown and recap Saturday's exciting 28-7 loss to #1 Northwest Missouri State. Heck of an effort by the Tigers, but they come up short in their upset bid. Now get set to wrap up the regular season in Kearney against the Lopers this Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock, and we'll take a preview look at that as well. The program brought to you again this week by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, 3505 Vine in Hays. It's the taste that brings you back, and by Mocha's Coffee, Bakery, and Bistro at 27th and Indian Trail. We're going to take our first break. When we come back, head coach Chris Brown will join us right here on Tiger Talk.
Around here, we believe in local values like hard work, family time, or a fair price on reliable internet from a local company. That's why Eagle Communications delivers great local values, like a range of internet options to fit your family's needs. Fast and consistent enough to power everyone's devices at once. All at reasonable prices we're proud to offer our friends and neighbors. Ready for better internet? Give us a call or visit eaglecom.net and discover our local values today.
And welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Weilbrock with you, along with head football coach Chris Brown, as Fort Hays State put up a heck of an effort on Saturday, losing to #1 Northwest Missouri State 28-7. Tiger Talk presented by Mocha's Coffee, Bakery, and Bistro, 27th and Indian Trail, and Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, where they're celebrating the return of their fall classic, Freddy's Pumpkin Pie Concrete, fresh and creamy frozen custard blended with a whole slice of rich pumpkin pie. Crust and all, it's all topped with whipped cream and sprinkled with cinnamon. Great deal, only at Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, 3505 Vine, the taste that brings you back. Tigers, as we said, put up a heck of an effort. It was the closest game Northwest has been in this year, by far the lowest point total and the lowest offensive production. All great things, but unfortunately, I know you're in this thing to win football games, but a great effort by your squad. They really battled, and just a little bit too much firepower for Northwest.
They did. They're a very, very good football team. Their defense is tremendous. I mean, those front four they have, and their secondary is very, very good, and that linebacker's free to run the field the whole time just because their front four does such a good job on your front five. So, our kids competed. They battled, through the whole game, never gave up, and after you saw the first pass for a pick six. You're having flashbacks from the previous year and hoping it doesn't get away from you. But our kids really settled down, stayed in the ball game, and fought the entire way.
Never sensed any panic, even after that play. And the kick return right after had to be big. I mean, you got the ball and you got in a position to possibly score, but never sensed panic on your team, and never sensed that they were playing over their head. They were just out there playing hard and competing every play.
Yeah, that's something we talked about, through the week. I mean, take care of ourselves, do what we can do. You can only control your effort, how hard you play every single play, and you doing your assignment every single play. Those are the things you can control. If you do that and you play hard and you give me everything you got, give your teammates everything you got, and you can only look in the mirror the next day and say, I gave everything I possibly could give, and we lost that game, then we lost it. But if you didn't, and then we got some issues there. But I really thought our kids played hard, played physical, played aggressive, and didn't back down. I was really proud how they did not back down and just kept positive and focused through the whole game.
You had to fight some adversity, had an injury to your quarterback, Jacob Mazzara, early in the middle of that first quarter, and never a good situation. Any update on Jacob, how he's doing?
Yeah, he'll be out the rest of the year. I might look at some surgery or something. Dislocated his shoulder. Nothing was broke or torn, which is good. I mean, he's getting his MRI here on Monday today, so we'll just kind of see from there what it says. But for sure, he's out the rest of this year. And now we got Shanker, and Shanker's very capable of doing the things we need him to do to help us win ball games as well. So he's a good quarterback. He's just a little reckless at times, but that's something. You get thrown into the fire against the #1 team in the country, and you get a little stress and little things happen. But I think he'll be fine. I think he'll do a great job for us. But Jake won't be back until next year.
I was going to ask you how much of that limited what you wanted to do offensively with Brad in there.
I think he can do the same thing that Mez does. I mean, he throws a good ball. He's got good pocket presence. Scrambles pretty well. I just think he tried to do too much early in the game, and just needs to calm down, do what's given. Take what they give you, and which isn't much. Very often, but. Just don't try to do too much, play within our system, and I think once he calmed down, he did a good job of doing that.
One thing your defense did, and I know you talked about it was part of the game plan, keep everything in front. Northwest really thrives on big plays, and you really didn't give them any on Saturday.
No, we didn't. I think their biggest play all day was 24 yards, and that's hats off to our defense and our defensive coaches with their game plan on what we needed to get done. And Zimmerman wasn't used to that, and we didn't really give him that deep ball to throw to because our guys covered him up very, very well and made him sit in the pocket a little bit longer than he wanted to. Had to scramble a few times, got some good shots on him as well, and. I thought our kids really did well, and then it was time to pursue the ball. They pursued the ball very well and laid some good licks when they were out there.
The Tigers come up short to the #1 team in the country, but certainly gave a good effort. We'll talk in more detail about Saturday's game when we come back. Tiger Talk presented by Mocha's Coffee, Bakery, and Bistro and by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers. And we're back right after this.
The year 1948, we said goodbye to the Babe. Truman upset Dewey, and KAYS AM signs on the air. Flash forward to 2016. This year we said goodbye to Prince. We find out if it will be Hillary or Trump, and KAYS FM signs on the air. 1400 AM KAYS, now also on 94.3 FM. It's Hayes' greatest hits. KAYS, sounding great since 1948.
And welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock, head football coach Chris Brown, brought to you by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers and by Mocha's Coffee, Bakery, and Bistro. 27th and Indian Trail. Stop by on your way to work through the handy drive-thru. Start your day off right with a great cup of coffee and a lot of their breakfast items. They've got great menu items for lunch and dinner as well. Something for every meal at Mocha's Coffee, Bakery, and Bistro, 27th and Indian Trail in Hayes. Tigers and Northwest Missouri State on Saturday. Bearcats #1 in the country, #1 in about every offensive and defensive statistical category in the MIAA, but the Tigers certainly held their own, and you kind of touched on it. Wasn't a great start. You got the football first. I think you got a nice 11-yard run, but then the fourth play, Jacob threw a pick six. It was really a great catch by their corner, but an early mistake and put you behind the 8 ball right off the bat.
It was a great game plan by them as well. They really focused on our backs, manning a couple guys up on our backs just to make sure that they were taking care of our passing game because, we use our backs a lot in our passing game. And kid read it well. Hopefully we could have got him blocked, but he missed the block and picked the ball and went in for 6. But, that's just a great play on their part. I mean, that's why they're #1 in the country. They understand things. They play a lot of man coverage and win with their front four. And, they're impressive. But yeah, that hurts, but our kids really rallied back and didn't really let that affect the whole game and didn't affect the whole outcome of the game as well.
Came right back, 59-yard kickoff return for DeAndre James, got you into their territory, and as we kind of touched last segment, had to kind of maybe ease things a little bit. You got a big play, got some good field position there early on.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, we needed something like that to happen for us. We just gave up a pick six, and we got to get something going, and that sparked it again. Gave us some, excitement, gave us some more momentum, and and gave our kids some confidence as well. And it worked out for us. But that was a great run by him. There's some great blocks in there too, to help him spurt that 59-yard return.
Yeah, you don't have those on kick return without a lot of help from your teammates. And then Shaq reels off a 26-yarder. Unfortunately, got called back for a excessive roughness, I guess, penalty. But broke one off, got you in the red zone. Unfortunately, it kind of set you back with the penalty.
It is, just a dumb, stupid penalty again. But our kids are playing hard. They're trying to play physical. They're trying to play aggressive. And Shaq broke that long run, and Bilal was just doing what we tell our receivers to do: get downfield and block. And fortunately, it was away from the play. So, they got the defensive player thing as well going on, which I still hate that rule to this day. How can you be defenseless when you're on the football field? And but it's just a kid giving great effort, want to make something happen. Help spurt the play a little bit farther, hopefully to score a touchdown. But it did hurt us.
You had a chance. You had Shaq open in the end zone, and if the wind affected the pass, but he just couldn't quite track it down. But he got free and a chance to maybe score 7 and answer him, but it just didn't quite work out.
It is, and it's different, putting him out there. He was not used to being a wide receiver, and sometimes as a receiver you got to adjust to the ball. And the ball was up there, wind blew it just a little bit, but it's still a situation where we got to find it, adjust to it, and make the catch. I mean, it wasn't just a terrible, terrible throw. Probably could have been caught, but that's things that takes practice over time, not just in 1 week's time.
Yeah, and it's different catching the ball as a running back, as a receiver, as opposed to catching it out of the backfield, and obviously was a factor there. And then they blocked one of their 2 kicks, and that was a problem in the game, and really got a lot of pressure up the middle.
They did, and that was something that we told the officials before the game. I felt like they had a 3-man, pressure against our guard, and I don't think you're allowed a triple team, but it was just enough where they really couldn't call it, but they did a good job of getting through there, getting their hands up, and getting a good push on our guard, and opening up the seam. And kick was a little bit low as well, but we just got to get bigger, and fill that gap, and not get any push. And if we would have done that, that wouldn't have been blocked.
They came in leading the country in block kicks and still do. But then the defense really stepped up after that. I mean, it could, again, another situation where you're fighting some adversity. 2 consecutive 3-and-outs on the next 2 possessions, which I'm guessing hasn't happened too often for Northwest this year.
No, it hasn't. But it's just our guys doing their job. And the good thing is we got them in 3rd and long situations. And you get them 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. They're probably going to convert on those. But we did a good job on 1st down. We did a great job on 2nd down, and 3rd down we were able to get our our stack package in there, or our 30 package, and allow them to, allow us to cover receivers and let a guy spy the quarterback. And good calls by our coaches, a great job by our kids of getting themselves in that situation.
Unfortunately, you couldn't do much offensively, so after those 2 3-and-outs, kind of a shift in field position, you're kicking into the wind, they get the ball, you're 35, and then take it in for a touchdown. So really, they go up by 2 scores. They scored on a pick 6 and off a short field.
It is, and that's, they're going to gain some yards. They're going to find ways to put points on the board, and the shorter the field, the easier it is for them as well. So, but we hung in there the rest of the game. If we could in that situation just keep them to a field goal, probably should have. I mean, there's a couple plays in there where we hold them and they kick a field goal, but we didn't get the job done, and they ended up scoring another touchdown.
But that first half, your defense forced 5 punts for Northwest. You got an interception, first of the year, thrown by their quarterback, Kyle Zimmerman. Really did everything you could ask. You go to the locker room only down 14-0. That was kind of the goal. Be in the game, give yourself a chance, and they did just that.
It is, and we're in that game. We probably should have had a couple field goals, so now it's 6, or even a touchdown in that situation off one of those interceptions, or just make something happen to get points on the board. But we did, but being down 14-0 with those type of things happening, losing your starting quarterback, short fields, and our kids hung in there, and that's something that we had to do. We had to weather the storm early because they usually come out very, very fast, scoring 40 points in the first half, and we didn't allow them to do that.
14-0, Tigers down at the half. The Bearcats get the football to start the 3rd quarter. We'll talk about that second half, which was exciting, when we come back right here on Tiger Talk.
That was another legend on 99 KZ Country. And yes, before that, we had a brand new artist. Your home for today's stars and the legends. We play real country. I'm Teresa Trapp. Weather, news, sports, it's all here. We're on Facebook, and there is a listen live link at hayespost.com. Dial us in on your radio at 99.5 FM. KHAZ, real country. 99 KZ Country.
Welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Walbrock, head football coach Chris Brown. It's brought to you by Mocha's Coffee Bakery and Bistro and by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, where they are celebrating a classic steakhouse favorite, the A1 Chop House Steak Burger. 2 sizzling patties, topped with grilled onions, sauteed mushrooms, white cheddar cheese, and zesty A1 garlic sauce, all on a home-style bun. Only at Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, the taste that brings you back. Tigers down 14-0 at halftime to #1 Northwest Missouri State. Bearcats won the coin toss. They deferred, so they get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. And you knew that was going to be a key possession in the football game. And they come out and score quickly. They go up maybe 3 possessions. And they seem like a different team. The tempo changes in the 2nd quarter compared to the 1st and in that second half. But boy, your defense, you gave up, I think, a 15-yard pass play and then stop them after that and force a punt on that first possession.
Yeah, that's huge for us. We got to find a way to keep them out of the end zone, and they always come out fast in the second half and seem to put points up, right away. But our defense stood strong and did the things that we needed to do to prevent that. But just really, really proud of our kids.
Yeah, offensively it was a struggle, but those first 4 possessions for them, a punt, you stop them on 4th down, you get an interception and force another punt. Cdo broke up a big pass on a 4th down play to get the defense off the field when it was in a position where they had to make a decision. But you had a lot of different players step up, make some big plays.
Yeah, it is, and that's a huge play by C. And after watching it on film, if he doesn't knock that down, because we're bringing pressure, we're manned up. We did a good job of sealing the corner, and the guy that was manned up on that guy that was blocking the corner didn't even see the play coming. So if C doesn't knock that down, it's probably 6 points, and they're going to the house. But great play by him, but a great play by a lot of guys in those last 4 series to make things happen, to get things done.
And he got a sack in the game as well as he inches closer to the career sack mark. That was good to see. Northwest doesn't give up many of them, but you got just enough pressure on Zimmerman all day to keep him, I think, from getting real comfortable.
Yeah, we did. And we did a good job all day of doing that. I mean, I think he had 1 sack in the game, but still the pressure was there and making him uncomfortable and throwing some balls that he didn't want to throw. And the receivers were pressed a little bit and dropped a few balls as well. But I think we just kind of kept them off timing all day, against their offense. But proud of our kids and the way they battled and got after them. But I thought defensively we really played very, very physical. That's probably the most physical game I've seen us play, all year.
It was 14-0 going to the 4th quarter, and then the Bearcats put together their one really good drive, 9 plays, and they got a 10-yard TD pass to their tight end, Schieber. And boy, Doyen was there. It looked like pretty good coverage. Sometimes they just made a little bit better pass just beyond his outstretched hands to try to knock that thing away.
It was, and it was a great play by them, and I mean, a 3rd and 1, we get that stop, make them kick a field goal. At least we keep it pretty close. But again, just a situation, young kid, just a sophomore, reaches with the wrong hand. He used his left hand instead of using his right, which would have been a little more outreach to knock the ball out. And it's 4th and 1, and they're probably kicking a field goal. But those come, as they mature and as they get older and as they learn what to do and how to control their bodies and what techniques to use. But I mean, he was there, just got to make the play.
But then you answer, and Brad Schenker connects with Bilal Salat on a 65-yarder. They track him down at the 10, but you get really the first big play offensively for you guys and get you inside the red zone.
It was, we wanted to do a little bit more of that in the first quarter as well. Had a few chances to get those big plays, and you saw it, a few to Shaq and a few to a couple other guys that just didn't get caught. And but that's a great play by Bilal. Needs to get a little more speed so he can get to that end zone. And but it was a big play for us, got us down, on their side of the territory, and gave us a chance to score.
Then it was kind of crazy after that. You had a touchdown taken off the board for offensive pass interference, and then there was a couple of penalties. Brad goes down for a stretch. You had to bring in Tyler Bacon as your emergency quarterback. You get a couple of illegal procedures, moves you back to the 20. They get a penalty for taunting. It was a crazy stretch once you got to the 10-yard line.
It was a mess, an absolute mess. But it all worked out in our favor at the end. But it was just kind of a ticky-tacky call. I don't know if it should have been called or not, but they did call it. And then, Shank goes down. Bacon's never been in that situation. We didn't want to burn the red shirt of Jacoby Williams. I mean, it's going to be for one play, and Shanker's going to be right back in. So, 2 false starts, and then, then we get that taunting penalty that gets us back down in there, and we make something happen. So it was crazy, but it worked out in our favor.
And then Lane Bieberly, great catch. It probably could have called pass interference because the defensive back never turns around. It looked like he had hands on it, but he went up over the top and hauled that into the back corner of the end zone. It was a great play.
He is. I mean, he's an athletic kid. I mean, he's a kid that's going to fight for the ball every single time, doesn't matter where it's at. And, he wants to win. But, he's still a freshman. He's still trying to understand how to get leverage and those type of things on defenders. And, once we put a little bit of weight on him, put a little more strength on him, his speed's going to increase. But just one heck of a play by that kid. And, a couple of times in that drive, or even through this whole game, he made some outstanding plays.
Well, Tigers get the touchdown down 21-7. You force a 3-and-out. Couldn't get much going, and they get the ball back, and they put together the final drive. Just felt like maybe guys just starting to wear out. I mean, they battled so hard and so long, and the Northwest finally got that last drive to kind of put the game away.
It was. We had to take some chances to try to get the ball back as well, and so a couple of those chances cost us. I'm just not setting the edge and keeping the edge, and I think that's what hurt us the most, is just keeping the edge, turning that guy back in. But they did battle. They got a little bit tired, and that's something that Northwest has. Their established program over 20 years' time. I can remember I was still playing when Mel took that job over, and that's a long time ago. And you know, so it's been a process for them as well, but they've gotten to a standard now of excellence, and you know, hopefully we get there someday. But I think we're very close to turning that corner and being a top contender in this conference.
Yeah, they're just an average up and down program for a long, long time. Mel Churchman turned them around, and now they're just a perennial power. But you're right, and I know going in, you talked about this is an important game to see where you match up. You faced a ranked team in Emporia on the road, and battled toe-to-toe, didn't quite get the victory, and then the same thing here at home. And I think you've proven how much that gap has closed. Now it's just taking that next final step.
It is, and it's just our kids' understanding of, you know, they got to make more of a commitment to our program, be more disciplined with the things that they're doing in the weight room and on the practice field, holding themselves a little bit more accountable, and really making football important to them. I mean, I understand, you know, you're our student athlete, but when we get on the football field or we're in the weight room, you know, it's got to be very important to you. And what are you trying to do to make that next step? And it's also becoming closer as a team, you know, and I think our kids are starting to do those things, but, you know, we're not quite there yet, and we got a little bit of a ways to go, but we're going to get there eventually.
Well, a heck of a game. Unfortunately, Northwest wins it, their 25th consecutive win. That's the longest win streak in all of college football. In fact, a new school record for the Bearcats. Next up for the Tigers, they get the Lopers rivalry week as they travel to Kearney, and we'll talk about it right after this.
Ready to discover something new? The next time you're in your car, tune your radio to 94.3 FM.
It's here.
It's Hayes' greatest hits.
Love it.
On 1400 KAYS and 94.3 FM.
94.3 FM, KAYS. Go ahead, check us out.
And welcome back. It's our final segment here on Tiger Talk, presented by Mocha's Coffee Bakery and Bistro and Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, where you can experience delicious cook-to-order food, rich and creamy frozen custard, churned fresh throughout the day. It's all at Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, 3505 Vine, North Vine in Hayes. The taste that brings you back. Tigers wrapping up the regular season in Kearney on Saturday against the Lopers, who have struggled this year. They did end a long 17-game losing streak. They're 1-9. They battled Pitt pretty well for a while. Just kind of got away in the second half. But it's a rivalry game. They're a program that has had success. They're trying to get back there now in the MIAA. Got a great young head coach, and you know they're going to be excited and ready to play, and you're going to get their best effort on Saturday.
Yeah, they are. You know, they're looking for that second win this year. I believe it's going to be their senior day as well, and you know, kids really seem to step up another level on that day, and you know, it's going to be a tough battle. Coach Lamberson's going to have those kids ready to play, and they're going to be focused. They're going to be locked in, and you know, they're a good football team. That 1-9 record doesn't really show how good they really are. So we're going to have our hands full, and we got to go down there ready to play and focused and locked in and ready for another physical football game, because that's the way they're going to play it. And you know, we just got to go down there and play and do our best and try to get this next win.
Yeah, you look at their games, they've had a lot of games, they've been right there through three quarters, and for whatever reason it gets away. Some of it maybe their youth. They got a lot of young kids playing, and you see that a lot of times. New coach, and now he's bringing in his kids, and you're playing a lot of freshmen and sophomores. But they've been in. There haven't been too many games they've been completely out of. They've been in most of them.
No, they're not. You know, he's doing it the right way too. He's bringing in young kids, not a lot of junior college transfer kids as well, letting the young kids get some experience, and you know, that's going to pay off dividends, you know, down the road. And you know, they're going to be a very good team, you know, here in a couple of years, just because of the things that he's doing and the kids that he's bringing in. I mean, they're a very talented group. His young kids are very, very talented. So, you know, those seniors are doing a good job of buying into what he's done and leading that team. But, you know, they're a good team, and we got to be ready to play.
Well, and you had your senior day, and we talked a little bit about it last week, the seniors, but this could be the last time they wear the Fort Hays State uniform, and I think they've obviously went out in their final home game very proud with the way they played, and hopefully they can put together another effort like that, because you feel if they do, they've got a very good chance to leave that field Saturday with a victory.
Yeah, you know, they will, and if they play to their potential and do the things we ask them to do and play hard for 4 quarters, and you know, it's 60 minutes of football. That's all you have left. And how are you going to perform these last 60 minutes of your career as a senior? And hopefully it's at a high level and an intense level, and you know, playing relentless and physical and getting after people. But you know, I feel good about our guys and the way they play the game. They're pretty focused after the game as well. You know, after Northwest, that's the only thing they can talk about is, hey, we got to regroup, we got to get things cleaned up, and we know we need to go win this last game.
Well, a sign of maturity, hopefully, as the program keeps evolving and moving on to the next game. That's certainly going to be the key, but it should be a lot of fun in Kearney. It's always fun when Fort Hays and Kearney get together. Such a close rival geographically and great history between the two, and should be a lot of fun.
It is our shortest trip of the year, which makes it really nice. 2.5-hour drive instead of 5 or 6. But, you know, these kids are growing up more and more each week, and every year they're getting a little bit more mature and understanding what we're trying to get done. And, you know, we're getting better athletes each year as well. So it's going to be a fun game, and hopefully we come out on top.
Coach, we appreciate it. It's our final football program of the year, so we appreciate your time every Monday visiting with us about Fort Hays State football, and let's close it out in style on Saturday.
Sounds great. Just want to thank all the sponsors for all they do for this program as well, and thank you for what you do. And it's been fun. It's been exciting, and let's go get this last one. Thanks, Gerard.
You bet. Let's go win number 7. Fort Hays State and Nebraska Kearney Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock kick from Cope Stadium, and we'll be on the air on Tiger Radio Mix 103 at 1 o'clock. If you missed any portion of Tiger Talk, you can always catch it online, HaysPost.com, and of course the video replay on Tuesday and Wednesdays on Eagle Cable's Channel 14 and 614, 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. And of course you can catch that online as well at HaysPost.com. Program today brought to you by the the Hayes Men Orthopedic Institute, the Taco Shop, G&L Tire and Automotive, Golden Belt Bank of Hayes and Ellis, Adams Brown, Barron and Ball, Couture for Men and Women, BTI, and Horizon Appliance and Electronics, and of course our title sponsors, Mocha's Coffee Bakery and Bistro, as well as Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, North Vine and Hayes, the taste that brings you back. For Coach Chris Brown, this is Gerard Wellbrock. So long, everyone.
We get it. You work hard and play hard. Internet should be the last thing slowing you down. Eagle Communications gives you the speed you need so you can play hard and save cash. For a limited time, get 30 meg for $30 or 50 meg for $50 so you can work, play, and save. Call us at 877-61-EAGLE today.